He's entering his 20th year as a National Football League head coach. Year 20, entering year 6 with the Kansas City Chiefs. He is Andy Reid. How are you, Coach?
I'm doing good, Rich. Yes, I'm very good.
Well, how do you want to handle this in the offseason? Because normally it starts where you give an injury report and then tell me the time is mine. How do you want to work this here?
Listen, I'm on your show. The time's always yours.
Okay. All right. Very good. Because I guess there is no injury report right now, right?
No injury report. We're about as healthy as you can be right now.
Okay. Year 20 as an HC in the NFL, Coach. How does that hit you?
Yeah. You know what? You're making me feel old, but it's a blessing. I love every minute of it, Rich. I mean, I'm as excited today as I was the first year I was a head coach. I mean, I love doing what I'm doing. Feel very honored to be able to do it and do it for the Chiefs, which is a great organization, as you know. So, very fortunate.
So, how have players changed in the 20 years?
I think it's technology. I think that's about it. But it's the same thing. Once you get on the grass, there are no cell phones or smart watches or they're all yours, and all they want to do is work. They don't care how much money they make. They don't, how much money you make. They don't care. They just want to. They want to win and find a way to do it and work. And I can appreciate that. I mean, it's kind of a fun atmosphere that other people don't get to see. They think you're coaching all these rich guys, and they do whatever they want to do, but that's not how they operate.
So you're just saying technology is pretty much the only difference between players in 1999 when you walked through the door in Philadelphia as a head coach and when you're going to walk through the door in Kansas City for another playing season in a couple of months?
Well, I think, yes. Now, technology can expand horizons. So maybe they're a little bit wiser in some areas. Maybe they're exposed to more things. So technology can open up doors off the field and whatever direction you want to go, in a positive way or a negative way, that maybe the players didn't have back in that time. But when you're on the grass, it's the same guy, and I appreciate that part. And the rules have changed a little bit.
Well, I mean, in terms of that, I guess the rules. What do you think of this new catch rule, Andy? Do you think the NFL's figured it out?
Yeah, listen, I listened to John Harbaugh talk about it probably 3-4 years ago, and he did a big study on it. And at the time, it was touching 3 feet and down, and having 3 ticks, and then that was a catch. And so anything past that was, and he kind of simplified it down to that. So, and then it's kind of expanded from there. But I think the foundation of it started there, and people started looking at it, and it made sense, and so that's kind of where we're at. I kind of like it, and I think it'll clear up some things.
Well, I do too. The thing that I think still needs some clearing up, though, in all honesty, is the new, I don't even think it's fair to call it a targeting rule, but the fact that you are not allowed to lower your helmet and make contact. And I'm wondering if that still means a quarterback on a sneak, if that means an offensive lineman already down the field blocking 10 yards for a runner that's already zipped by, and now suddenly plays that we think are big plays in the NFL, suddenly there's a flag on the field, and we didn't even see this happen. And I think fans are going to go crazy about that sort of thing. What do you as a coach know about this rule about lowering your helmet so far, mid-May?
Yeah, so I don't think it will be quite that drastic for those type of situations. I think what you're looking at is those egregious hits, those ones that they're trying to get rid of, those that hurt the player himself that's doing them, and then also can cause damage to another player. So I think that's really where we're at. And then the officials will take care of it. They have a good feel. The coaches and the officials all met, along with the competition committee. It was kind of a neat deal. And so they've come up with this thing together, things that can be coached, things that can be officiated. And listen, is the head going to be a part of that? Yeah, I mean, it's an issue. But the commissioner, since he's been in, has tried to clean this game up so it can be as safe as possible for a contact sport. So. And that's my hat goes off to him for that. It's not an easy thing, and you're dealing with a lot of different personalities here, not only within the NFL but also fans. So I think he's done a heck of a job with that.
Andy Reid here on the Rich Eisen Show. What rule would you like to see changed that hasn't been changed, if anything?
Yeah, listen, I'm always griping. This is coach talk now, so I
Go
mean,
for it. Go for it.
we always want more time to coach, and so any restriction that you have on that, you go, doggone, can I get some more time? But we work it out. Coaches do that. We're flexible. Although my hamstrings are tighter than yours,
Nice.
You'd beat me in the 40. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be able to stay with you. But the fact that we're always looking for more time, but that's what that's how this thing works. It's a give and take. We understand it, and so we work with what we have and we go.
So where does Patrick Mahomes stand right now? Now that again you're going to be able to get him, you've gotten him back in an off-season workout program now officially. How ready is he week 1 this year, Andy?
Yeah, so we start off with the Chargers, so that's a big game obviously for us, just because of the division rivalry and so on. So it's he's done a heck of a job. He was very fortunate to be in that room with Alex Smith. I mean, I can't say that enough about that opportunity which this kid had to sit in there and to learn. And there's no better pro than Alex Smith. I'm really excited to see how he does with Washington. I think Jay Gruden and he will be a great partnership there. So, but with Patrick is so smart, and his want to is so great, and that part you appreciate. He comes to work every day and just wants to get better. He's always here. He doesn't have a lot of distractions, and he wants to be the best. And so that's the way he goes about his business. Now, whether he gets there or not, who knows? But he's got a tremendous amount of talent, and he's got a great way about him, and he loves playing the game. So I can hang with that. I'm okay with that.
Well, we just came off of a lengthy draft process, an evaluation process, where it was all about evaluating quarterbacks. I mean, my gosh, with all those first-round quarterbacks and grades with quarterbacks with first-round grades this year. Last year, essentially, you made an evaluation at quarterback, and your staff did. With Patrick Mahomes, you traded up for Mahomes with Deshaun Watson also on the board. Why did you, now a year removed, why did you make that evaluation? What did you see in Mahomes that you're excited to see this fall in that regard?
Well, Rich, what we did, we brought all those top quarterbacks in, and we spent about 6 hours with each one of them, and we just beat them up. I mean, we wanted them to find out about it. We beat ourselves up with it too. I mean, we wanted to find out about them and them to find out about us, and just to see how things worked. And listen, the Watson kid, now this is a good football player, so there were tough decisions that we had to make. I thought the world of him. What a great attitude, and you saw what he did before he got banged up there a little bit, but the sky's the limit for him. We just thought what we were doing. We thought Patrick was the best fit. And Rich, you've been around this a long time. If you target one of those guys and you go, listen, this is the guy that we want to get in here, you go get him. I mean, that's what you do. And so the cost, you can evaluate the cost all you want, but you can evaluate it so much that you end up with no quarterback. And Alex was getting up there. Just a bit in age, although I think he still probably can play another 4 or 5 years here, so because he keeps himself in great shape. But you've got to think of those things in this business, and so that's the direction our personnel department went. I love the decision, and I love the player. So I'm excited to coach him and see how far we can grow together here, and that's exciting. That's a very exciting thing.
And part of the personnel department, John Dorsey at the time, were you surprised now him in Cleveland, he went Baker Mayfield first overall?
No, I wasn't at all. Baker Mayfield's an energy giver. I mean, he's going to come in and he can play. I mean, this isn't like the kid can play. He's not the biggest kid, but who cares? If they can play, they can play. And so that's what John felt, and more power to him. He's a good leader. He's smart. He can sling the ball. He's got good accuracy. So who knows? I mean, you're shooting 50-50 with these first-round picks anyways. I mean, it's a crapshoot, and you know that. So you better go get the guy you want, you feel good about, your staff feels good about, go get him, and then coach the heck out of him, and let's roll.
Couple more minutes left with Andy Reid, head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs. So many Chiefs fans are left scratching their head coach over the trade of Marcus Peters. I mean, when you get a young kid in and you get a young kid who has shown the ability to have some shutdown talent, those kids don't usually get traded. Why did that happen? Best you can tell.
Yeah, so Mark's a heck of a football player, and he'll do a good job for the Rams. You got to juggle a lot of things when you're doing this. One of which is cap, and that's a part of this. No matter how you cut it, it's a part of it. And so I can't tell you we're in the best cap situation in the world. And so you take those things into consideration. There's a lot of things behind the scenes that go into it, and so sometimes you have to make tough decisions like that. He left here in good graces and everything. So I look forward to. We actually play him in Mexico City, so I look forward to that, and he'll do a great job there. But those are the tough decisions you have to make in this business.
So it was essentially a monetary thing down the road that you needed to make a move.
Well, that's part. Yeah, that's part of it. That's a big part of it. I mean, those are things that you have to evaluate. There's a bunch of There's a bunch of different pieces that go into making big time decisions like that, and that was one of them.
Well, and then lastly, somebody that you're going to see. And you're going to see him twice a year in big-time battles with big-time division rivalry in the history, Jon Gruden. I mean, talk about, isn't this amazing how these things happen? That he's back, he's with the Raiders again, you're now with the Chiefs. When was the first time you met Jon Gruden, Andy Reid?
Man, I actually had hair. And and so
right.
We were young kids. We were two of the youngest assistants in the NFL at that time. And it was a long time ago in Green Bay. We were together on Mike Holmgren's staff there. We were with Mike that first year there, and we were the young kids. I mean, we were trying to figure it all out and see where we could go with this thing. And knowing that the average span for a coach is about 3 years, so but listen, it worked out okay for us. And he's a heck of a football coach. We're still great friends, and I look forward to that challenge. He'll have those guys ready to go, and that's what this is all about. You want that ultimate challenge, and he'll get that group to present that, and that's exciting.
Maybe we'll have Mariucci be the honorary captain of that game. What do you think?
Yeah, Mooch was right with it. We were all shoved in one room, so Mooch knows. Yeah, he knows.
He always shows that photograph of you eating that monster, this big steak, like the 60 ounce or something crazy like that, some steak.
Yeah, like he didn't finish his, but yeah, we both took that.
He leaves that part out. He leaves that.
Well, no, let me just tell you something. Now, Mooch can eat. He can eat. He's a foodie, and anything he says different than that is wrong.
No, it really is. Watching Steve during the season. Well, he gets upset when we say this because he thinks Gail is listening, and he gets in trouble with his wife. So yeah, but we know the real story, Coach.
Yeah, I got it.
Well,
good.
Thanks for the call. I appreciate the time. The time is now back to yours.
Thanks, Rich.
You got it. Thanks for the call. That's it. That's Andy Reid.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.